Man United led Coventry City 3-0 in the FA Cup semi-final. But the familiar scenario has returned. The weaker team from the Championship has almost created a classic return to the world's oldest league history. Coventry should have been able to finish the game if the final scoring situation hadn't gotten wrong, on the point of always saving the more impressive player team had failed. Rasmus Højlund faced the decisive situation. Of course, the Danish opponent did not make any mistake, so he ran to the boundary to celebrate with enthusiasm. But by the end of the day, he realized that no teammate would want to party with him. Sadly, it wasn't the image any fans wanted. But Harry Maguire has given Red Devil fans a little light of hope, a nice image. The camera captured Maguire's handshaking and comforting of his opponent. A beautiful act of the British national team, which symbolizes the leadership, kindness and professionalism of the 1993 midfielder, all of which are characteristic of a player who was the captain of Man United. None of us can forget the worst part of Harry Maguire's career, just last season, when the English midfielder was seen as a surplus at Old Trafford. Man United tried to push him away from disappointing performances. It's true that Maguire made serious mistakes that affected the team's results, but it's real that Man United didn't play well at the time. The fans needed a place to let go of their anger. And they don't know when Maguire's became a guilt-bearing pattern. Maguire's departure in such prejudice was reasonable. The Red Devil fans also believed that Maguire's deserved to be sold. Even when you were stripped of the captain's band by Erik ten Hag, there were a lot of people. Maguire's transfer to West Ham was the only thing that had to happen. But after all, Harry Maguire remains at Old Trafford, and so far Manchester United must thank everyone for not selling such a great player. At the start of the season, Man United played with their ideal midfielder Raphael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. However, the trauma continues to skin the Red Devils, especially in the midfielder position, with their two best names injured each other. Meanwhile, Johnny Evans or Victor Lindelof are never good enough to meet expectations. And so Harry Maguire appeared in time to rescue the team at a time of danger. It's a familiar image of a time when Maguire and Lindelof played together in an official match for Manchester United. It's Erik ten Hag himself who has to praise Maguire. "I have to say Harry is playing like we want him to play," he said. "Very proactive out of possession, dominating his opponent. Stepping in when necessary, reading the game, good covering but also in possession, very proactive, stepping in, delivering good passes, switching. Yes, I am happy with his performance." It was thanks to Harry Maguire during that period that ten Hag's position was shaken. Maguire and Scott McTominay scored goals in a row. Most notably, the first match helped Manchester United defeat Copenhagen and win their first round of the UEFA Champions League. Choked, Maguire was silent and tried to find his chance. Every effort by the British midfielder was rewarded with the title of Player of the Month in November 2023. It's a model of a professional player who doesn't argue loudly, does not talk online, criticizes the coach, he quietly tries and waits. Harry Maguire is now a model that every fan wants his players to follow. They only know if Jadon Sancho learns a little bit from his teammates. If that's the case, there's no point in Dortmund's having a fight with his coach. Things are so bad that you're being borrowed from your old team even though you've been reviving your form. But once ten Hag's here, there's no chance for Sancho. Or, for example, Marcus Rashford should learn to follow his men in the fighting spirit, not in the fake fighting. From the start of the season to now, Maguire has been reliable, and if Bruno is the leader in the game, then he is the mental leader, a Manchester United captain without ice. Maguire's future at Old Trafford is still unclear. But even if he left this season, he proved his quality and ability before he left, and then Man United was the team to regret. Without Maguire, United lost only one player. But with Maguire, United has a professional player in the game, in the way of communication, especially professional in every situation and dedicated to the team.